Alex Rider. Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my series review for Alex Rider. Alex Rider is a new coming-of-age spy thriller series based on Point Blanc, the second novel in the Alex Rider franchise, which has become a global phenomenon, selling over 20 million copies worldwide. The series stars Otto Farrant as Alex Rider, a London-based teenager who has unknowingly been trained since childhood for the dangerous world of espionage. So first I should say that this is not the entire season review, this is the first 4 episodes, so as such I'm not going to give a rating at the end because I don't think that would be fair. But not even Anthony Horowitz has been given the 8 episodes. He's got the first 4, I believe, and he's seen rushes for 5 and 6. They're really working up to the mark until Friday to keep editing, get it out as much as possible, get it the best way, get it to look so good. So they're working up to the end, hence why previews are only halfway of the season, I believe. So the Alex Rider story, created by Anthony Horowitz, has been around for quite a while. Back in 2007, you'll probably know of the film that came out, and that was largely well received, even though the critics didn't like it. Families enjoyed the story reflected, because a lot of young teens were, a new generation of teens were kind of drawn back into reading because of Anthony Horowitz's character, Alex Rider, much like what Harry Potter did. And he sold something like over 20 million, so many books. And so that film was okay, but it was very tongue-in-cheek, it was very over the top, exactly like his books were. And in fact, I remember a lot of people saying it is actually quite true to the character. Very flamboyant, very energetic, lots of action. This series, however, has taken a step back. Anthony didn't get to write this series. He wanted to, but he was concentrating on his latest Alex Rider novel, Nightshade, I believe, and so felt that he couldn't take on both projects. So hence we have a new writer, but he gave his blessing for the writer, and what this writer has done is given a cinematic feel and a more grounded feel. So there's less action but more espionage. And so you have this character, Alex, who is thrust into the world of espionage after his uncle is killed. I don't think that's a spoiler because everybody kind of knows it and it's said right at the beginning, so not a spoiler. So you get to see what makes a young teen a spy. The first 2 episodes really take its time in kind of showing us what this world looks like. It shows us how his friends and his spy world kind of contradict each other, and how he's just like an everyday teen when it goes to school, but unbeknownst to him, his uncle has been preparing him in this world of spyship, which is a lot of fun to see. One of the things I would have to disagree with when I've seen people saying, when these actors and the writers even have been interviewed, saying, well, how can you relate to this? And they're saying Alex is just an everyday man, an everyday teen, and so because he's everyday, people relate to that. I think he's everyday mostly, but when it comes to the skills he has, most people don't have all of those skills. So that kind of takes you away a little bit. I think it's more on his friends' side that you relate to them, how they react to it. So I think I might have one other niggle. Niggle? What is that? That's not a word. Niggle. Apart from that, I really enjoyed this. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. I thought that the really grounded work of the storyline that they took from the Alex Rider story, because it's the second part, they really ground his character. So you get to know his friends, you get to know Jack, you get to know all these characters. They have time to build it. It's not just 1.5 hour film. They have 8 hours. Well, 8 45-minute segments in a story, so they take their time within the first 2 episodes. It's not until episode 3, beginning of episode 4, do we actually get to the place that he needs to go for the main arc really to get going. But even then, they've been building characters and they've been building this arc, this world of espionage, and they do it quite well. My only other niggle would be they have this tone that they use in the score. It's very broad, very dark and broody, but they use it a lot. They need to like kind of just step back from that a bit, and you'll know what I mean when you see it. There's a lot of that tone going on, and it does help to set the tone for some of the time, but a lot of the time it's also just like, okay, we get it, a bit too much now. I actually really like the character of Alex, and I thought he did well, the actor did well taken on characteristics of what it would be like to be just thrust into this world where your parents have died, your last kind of known relative has also died. You're now thrust into this world where you're kind of called upon, but you don't want to be a spy. You just want to have girlfriends. You just want to go to school and have fun with your friends, and that is a really interesting role for an actor to take on. And you see little subtle nuances that this actor takes on, and you believe his role. So I really liked him in that role. Playing off him is his best friend, and I thought their on-screen chemistry was very good. So I know they took over 1,000 actors when they were kind of trying to cast Alex and their friends. And I know they really took their time trying to find the right actor. I believe they found the right actors to take this story so that we can get many more in the future. If I was going to rate this like straight away, I'd probably give it a solid A because I think it's very good. There's slight annoyances in it, but the filmmaking is great. The shot selections that they use really help to ground and give you that cinematic feel and place you in the moment. Apart from those little niggles I have, I think it's very good. It's very entertaining. It leaves you wanting more. I would say that you probably should watch it back to back if you can. It feels like a film that's been cut up into kind of chapters, and you kind of just want to keep watching it so you don't forget like the story and what's happened. It kind of feels like you need to keep watching it rather than it being episodic in nature. It's a story that's cut up into, you know, one continuous segment. So it lends itself to binge watching, which I think is fine. So when you get to see the end, the 8 episodes, do let me know what you thought about the flow and tempo. I think it's very good. It's very entertaining. As far as I'm concerned, this is leaps abound the fun family film, but not my cup of tea. It's not something that I would ever really go back and watch, that original Alex Rider film. But this one, this take on that character, I think is very entertaining, and I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody else thinks of it. My teenage son really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. So it's joined 2 generations there, and so I think that speaks to its volume as to what it can do. It'll join those families again, although it's a bit more serious. Why so serious? Yeah, so do chat to me in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about this. I'm looking forward to watching the next 4. But so far, Anthony Horowitz loves it. And so I think that seal approval there should be enough for you. Thanks so much for watching this review, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long on Tuesday.